Hey, it's John. And I missed it the first time. That's my time. It is Saturday, the 7th of March. Now it's actually past midnight. Once again, missed my usual self imposed deadline, but it's fine. I'm once again ambivalent towards my own failures. Uh, it's just a a few minutes after midnight, so it's not a big deal. Um, on the subject of that, I was talking with Crystal not too long earlier in this day about possibly making this a like scheduled thing where I put down a particular time of day I'm going to do it and do it right then and there. So I don't have a like, well, I can just put it off, put it off, and put it off, or forget about it, or that scenario where I'm just like, well, I don't have any real push to stop what I'm doing right now, so I'll miss it. Oops. Um, but I think what would probably work is maybe like setting a 11:30 at night every night sort of thing for me, just because I personally, with my work schedule, can guarantee I will probably be around at that time in order to do it. I shouldn't be occupied theoretically. That's of course just me hoping and thinking that it's this way. I might end up being completely wrong, not working out, but that's okay. The point is to try. The point of everything in this little vlog experiment is to try and see what works, and then fix and edit and change to make what works stay and what doesn't work go away. And we will be better for it, I hope. Um, my doctor's visit went well. That was on Thursday, early morning. I went in and it was like a 15-minute experience, all in all. But she was very nice, gave me a sheet of paper with my lab like request on it rather than, I mean, she'd been sending in a lab request for me repeatedly, and when I get there they don't have it, and then I would just stop finding the time to be able to go to it. So now I have a physical piece of paper that I can show them and be like, hey, this is a thing, please let me steal my blood and send it to her, or whatever happens when they do lab work for doctors. I don't know. I'm not no blood matician, so I don't know. Um, but I still need to do that. I was going to do that this morning, but I woke up. What was it this morning? No. Today's Saturday. I couldn't have done it this morning because they're closed. I was going to do it Friday morning, but I woke up with a rather thick headache, migraine, hangover, because I had just gotten back the evening prior from the TWRP and Protomen concert. That was phenomenal. Now, I didn't really know much about TWRP. Twerp. I'm just going to say Twerp. That's them. Twerp or Protomen. Protomen. Wow, I'm bad at speak now. I did not know that much about them before going in. I still don't really, but I knew more than I thought I knew, because Twerp is the band that plays for Ninja Sex Party, and I'd heard a lot of their music before. They're basically Twerp plus Dan and Aaron from the Game Grumps. So I knew the band. I had heard the band many a time. I just didn't realize I had heard the band. And Protomen, I'd heard quite often because Crystal is a huge fan. So a lot of their music I had heard from her playlist. Just and also like I already had a pretty good idea of their aesthetic, which is to say rock ballads of Mega Man, Rockman. That whole universe, they just have a like a bunch of songs that are wonderful, incredibly hard rock renditions of Mega Man. themes and Mega Man the songs and Mega Man like story and it was a good time. Personally, I enjoyed Twerp's performance better because it was in the like stage performance setting, and Twerp really got the crowd like chanting and going, and they were all very, very, very energetic and extremely, extremely like how to describe it, social, like like they were the class clowns, but they were also like super fun. I guess class clowns are super fun. You know what I mean? Okay, you don't know what I mean. Either way, um, Dave has now gone home. He was staying with us for this concert. He is. I'm not sure when we're going to see him next, but I guess whenever he has time off again, because he does love coming down here, and we love having him. Um, but he is he had made it home safe, so good news for that. Um, Friday was horror game night, of course. We had our Fatal Frame 3 game going on. Crystal realized a little too late, and by a little too late, I mean like we've been playing this game for months. It would have been good to know at the beginning, but we didn't realize it. We needed to have a playthrough, like a full successful playthrough, uh, before we could have a playthrough in which we got the good ending. So we can't get the good ending because I saved over the original playthrough, figuring we were going to just, play through it again. That sucks, but I mean, we can just YouTube it. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, people on YouTube, they play video games. It's pretty cool. So I think it'll be okay. But we made some progress. It's been taking us a little bit longer than we liked, just because when we do play, it feels like we only get like a good 2 hours of actual playtime, which is a lot. I mean, it adds up, but it's only 2 hours once a week, if that, because sometimes we get things going on, sometimes we skip a week, sometimes one person doesn't show up and we're just not feeling it. It's so we've been dragging on this particular game, so I'm hoping that we complete it in the near future. And we're also at the point in which in Fatal Frame 3 the miasma starts appearing and all the really, really dangerous ghosts start showing up. So that's nearer to the end of the game. That's a good sign that we're making good progress. I think we're going to get through that in the near future. Speaking of getting through, my Tamtara guide is nearly done. I would give it another like 30 minutes of work, but it has to be 30 minutes of like constant work for me to get through it. I might be able to do it before I get to bed tonight, or I might just have to do it when I wake up in the morning, but I think I'm going to be done with it very soon. It's just the focus is what's required, and that's the trickiest part. I did have to redo one of my voice lines because I realized it was far too quiet, especially with background music. The background music was overpowering it, so I had to redo it. Some of the voice lines are kind of on the cusp, and I left them, which I'm sure I'm going to regret when I revisit it in full, and I feel like I'm just done by that point. But again, eventually I have to say, good enough. We're putting it through and we're doing better next time. And that's kind of, I'm getting to that point where I've just said, it's good enough. I got to move on. I just finished about a few hours ago a live stream of Final Fantasy XIV's Palace of the Dead, the 1 through 50 levels. Myself, Crystal, Ed, a friend of ours from Fort Walton, who is no longer in Fort Walton, I just don't know where he is, honestly, and Kortoth, another friend, Patrick, from Fort Walton, who is, again, not in Fort Walton again. So, people we've known from our Northwest Florida life were joining me with that, and we managed to make it through with relative ease. There was one death, actually, that wasn't in the 1 through 50. There was a death that occurred after we hit level 50, but also after I cut the stream. And that was due to a single enemy doing 3/4 of someone's health damage. So it was not really avoidable. But honestly, Palace of the Dead is interesting because it lets you pick a class that you may not have particularly high level, and then blitz leveling them from 1 to 60 real fast. Like, we got to 60 before the end of this, and we only played for maybe a couple hours. So it was kind of neat. I played as a Marauder, which is a tank class, and I don't have that many tanks that I play actively, so I'm not really terribly familiar with all the mechanics. But it gave me a good taste of what it's like to be a tank, at least at level 60. So that's pretty cool. It was like also very cool to see all the loot that you get afterwards. That's a lot of cosmetic stuff, a lot of miscellaneous like toys and things to play with. I got a sparkler that I waved about after we were done. We got a couple cool jackets for characters to wear. And Crystal, I got technically, but I gave it to Crystal because they're like, because certain gear is male only wear this and female only wear this, which is kind of bleh, but is what it is. I got a pair of sandals that were intended for like the like a female swimsuit sandals set, and I gave them to Crystal. She was super ecstatic about that. And I got 2 jackets, so I'm set. There's a bunch of other stuff in there that I'm probably gonna want to run through that over and over again to get, but I'm not really sure if there's a good way to grind it. Kortoth was saying levels 50 through 60 are generally good for grinding levels. I'm not sure if they're good for grinding the like loot, but if that's the case, then I'm probably gonna have to get in there. I mentioned I was gonna be more regular with my live blogs. I'm gonna actually, after we're done here, do a few like scheduled streams for the coming week, because I have my schedule for next week. So I know up till Friday when I'm gonna be able, theoretically. So it shouldn't be a problem. Oh, that was another thing I was thinking at as I'm scraggling my facial hair. I need to do something about this. Not necessarily like remove it, but I don't know how to take care of my facial hair. It's not a thing that I've really ever been active with. I let it grow. If I feel like it's getting too long, I generally just shave it off. But I'm kind of starting to like it, you know? I'm liking the mustache look, the hair butt I've got going on here. But I want to like make it, look like I take care of my facial hair. Anyone I've asked who has been like not necessarily like active in their facial care has just been saying, "Oh, just trim it. That's all you got to do," and then that's not really a good explanation of what I got to do. I don't know how to trim. I could probably look up tutorial videos again on YouTube and figure that out, but I'm not confident because I don't know what I'm doing. And when I don't know what I'm doing and I've never done it before, I tend to be uncertain at every step of the way. I need to jump right in and try it, but we'll see how it goes, because I need to figure out what I exactly want to do with this. Do I want to go like the Snidely Whiplash, curl it up, or do I want to turn this into like a what you call it, Scottish like braided beard thing going on? That'd be pretty cool. No, I don't think I could pull that off though. Question of the day. I have been missing it here and there. Most of the time I've been missing it. Mostly because it's kind of hard to think up a question every time. It's another topic, but it has to be a question that can get people to respond. So, but for this time, I'm gonna do it. Question of the day. Ooh, I don't got one. Shoot, had it written down. I don't know where I put it, but I didn't put it on the document that I have. Let's just say, how do you like your facial hair? Is it neatly trimmed? Do you like long beards? Do you like just clean shaven? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you next stream. And good luck. Have fun.